Heavyweight showdown now between Rocky Mendes at the top of the screen trying to take on the undefeated Ivan Alfonso in the new players division. Ivan has actually not dropped any points in two formats, so he's the man to beat. But you can see Rocky's had a solid start as well, 26 points. He's only 7 down, so if Rocky can smash Ivan here, he can actually take the lead for the new players division. Looks like Rocky's on green-black in standard, and Ivan's on straight-up blue-white control. You can see the approach sitting in his hand now. This match was recorded by Ivan as well. So playmat art on the back also belongs to Ivan. But this is a sort of match here where we see this in other divisions. If Ivan can have a comprehensive win, he's probably going to go on and play finals because he's already got the lead. But if Rocky can take out this match, then he's going to really swing things in his favour. As Thrashing Brontodon, the new $4 card, $4 uncommon from Rivals, gets countered. He's going to keep a seal away on top because there's lethal on board. He needs an untapped land, but he doesn't have it. So I believe game 1 here is going to Rocky in standard very quickly. You can see the irrigated farmland there. If it comes in untapped, he's fine. He's got Fumigate. Well, he can cast out. Actually, the recording quality is a little poor, but I'm seeing a 4-4, a 4-4, and a 4-5. So I believe he's just dead on board because he's got 4 life. Yeah, he's going to concede. So we're going to go to game 2. So a very quick win in standard for Rocky there. And Ivan's undefeated record on the line immediately. He's kept a 2-lander, but he's scryed another land to the top. This is the new super fast play for standard. Turn 1 Llanowar Elves. As the Winding Constrictor has been an interesting card. It's very popular in standard during periods, and it seems to disappear, then it comes back again. But at the moment, Ivan has missed his 3rd land drop, and here's a Duress. It's probably going to take a cast out. I say he's going to go Fumigate, okay. I mentioned cast out because you can see still 2 turns away from being able to do anything here. He is going to find his 4th land on the next turn though. But not before Rocky smashes in for 3 more damage. Cycle's one of the cast outs. Okay, so now we're stabilizing. He's up to going to hit his 5th land drop next turn. A Duress here would really screw him over. He does have 5 power on the board, so he's going to put him to 11 or 12 here because the Llanowar Elves is just hanging back. Here comes a cast out targeting the Constrictor. I think this is a miss. What's going on here? Oh, okay, he's putting a counter on. Yeah, nice play there from Rocky. So just before the Constrictor gets exiled from cast out, he can pay the 4 to put a counter on Ballista, which actually adds an additional counter. So Ballista's now a 4-4. Down comes Fumigate, but he was, unfortunately for Ivan, he'll sack the Ballista to do 4 damage. And Fumigate only picks up a Llanowar Elf. And more importantly here, you can see Rocky's sitting on 5 cards in hand to Ivan's 1, which is a land. So Ivan in big trouble here. He does have a treasure map he can use to scry something to the top. So he's going to do that in the upkeep. I think he's going to keep the Essence Scatter, yep. Because Treasure Maps is going to flip next turn, so He's only staring down 2 points of damage at this stage. 9 is still pretty decent. So he'll scry at the upkeep here with the treasure map. Threshing Brontodon going to come down. And that very quickly eats the Essence Scatter, otherwise it'll kill probably his cast out. Here's a scry in the upkeep. Supreme Will is not a bad find actually. I think you want to keep that one. Gets the card draw. Now, I think he has Supreme Will in response here, so that you can, just in case the only thing you can find is an Essence Scatter. Oh, he's going to use it as a counter spell. Hieroglyphic. I think he's just dead now. I would have drawn a card with the Treasure Cove there. It draws 2 lands. That's about the worst possible. So, I don't think he played a land either. I think he's dead on board. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so Rocky can attack with the 4, then just put a counter on Ballista and push through the final 2 points. So, first loss of the season here for Ivan. Going down very quickly, 2 games to 0. Oh, he didn't swing with the Constrictor. My only guess there is he's playing around with... but it doesn't matter anyway, because the Ballista is going to do the last 2 points of damage. Because he put the 2 counters on before damage. So, I've actually named that incorrectly. This is Modern Game 1. So, unfortunately, I believe then all the games are going to be named incorrectly. You can see Ivan's on... Lantern Control for this match. Immediately Rocky knows what he's on because he reveals Lantern on turn 1. Spear of Industry into Mox Opal could have been Affinity. And looks like Hollow One for Rocky. I don't believe Hollow One has any game against Lantern turn 1 in terms of being able to beat Ensnaring Bridge. So he's just got to hope that Ivan doesn't draw the Ensnaring Bridge here. After all that discarding, he's going to fire off an Abrupt Decay and take down the Flameblade Adept. Ancient Stirrings will not be able to be used this turn. Well, he took the Flamewake Phoenix, which is a bit of an odd one because I think Rocky wants that in the grave anyway. I think the correct card to take there was the Burning Inquiry, which we're going to see now. And there's Ensnaring Bridge on top, so we'll see if Rocky can actually beat that. I don't believe he can. Hard cast the Bloodghast. So he's only going to push 2, but Ensnaring Bridge next turn. Perhaps he might have Colligan's Command main deck. Yeah, he said in chat actually, good game, I can't beat Bridge main deck. So he's going to go to sideboard. This is actually Modern Game 2. My apologies again for that. We'll see what he brings in to beat this deck this time. Grafdigger's Cage. That's going to be a big one here. We'll see if Rocky's got a follow-up Inquisition that can get that Grafdigger's Cage. Collective brutality can't get it. There's actually a setting, this was recorded by Ivan, that you can disable that pop up. It's him that he's flashing the mouse cursor over the cards to bounce the text box constantly. You can actually disable that. I'll have to mention that to him because it's quite annoying. So that's not me doing that. So here we go again. You can see he's got the Whir of Invention, but he actually needs to get to 6 mana to be able to use that. Hardcaster Flamewake Phoenix, only 3 damage, but he does have Ivan at 12. You can see a Codex Shredder on top. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, so he's got the 6 in hand. So Rocky just has to win here before... I think he can do it in 2 turns. Gets him to 9. So he's going to shuffle away Goblin Law. Play a Gurmag Angler. Yeah, so he's actually got lethal on board next turn, so... I think Ivan has to crack that Lantern right now so that he can shuffle Codex and try and top deck an Ensnaring Bridge. Otherwise he's just dead. How's he paying for that? Oh, okay, Improvise. I forgot Improvise, sorry. So here's an Ensnaring Bridge. So this is the test. Does... he can push through 2, 4, 5 damage here. He's got another Ensnaring Bridge coming. Is there a Kolaghan's Command here? 5 damage. Can he pump the... He can pump the with the Street Wraith. Is that enough? Puts him to 2. Has he got or a Lightning Bolt will do it here as well. Inventor's Sphere will gain him a life. Down comes in second Ensnaring Bridge. So he's still got 1 card in hand. How's he going to push one? Oh, he can push the Flame Blade. Okay, he needs another Street Wraith, which he doesn't have. But Collective Brutality will do the final 2 points, so we're going to go to game 3. Not game 2. You can see he's got the Codex Shredder in hand. So I think it's cards like Burning Inquiry. This is a sort of matchup here that's very what's the word? Like you have to know your opponent's hand here because there's a number of cards that Rocky actually wants in the graveyard. So Codex Shredder can be helping him. And at the same time, there's other cards that can actually draw him multiple cards at a time, so it's much harder for the Lantern player to do the milling. Pithing Needle in this matchup, I'm not really sure what he's trying to get with that. So very quickly take an Ensnaring Bridge there. He can drop the Ensnaring Bridge next turn. You can see quite a few cards in the graveyard now. Does he have an Inquisition? No, he doesn't. So Goblin Law gets shredded. Now Ancient Grudge is a good one, but he doesn't... I don't believe he has the green mana to flash it back from the graveyard. So that's going to definitely get the shredder. Yeah, I'm not really sure why his deck is playing Ancient Grudge when he doesn't have access to green mana. I think the better option is to play Kolaghan's Command. So I think he's got to shred this for sure. That's a nice play from Rocky. They're still going to get beaten by the Codex Shredder though. I'm not sure why Ivan would crack the Lantern first there. Oh, he's got 2 Street Wraiths. That's huge. That is huge from Rocky. The 2 Street Wraiths are going to enable him to draw the Ancient Grudge and take down the Ensnaring Bridge. 2 cards left in hand. 8 damage coming across. 1 card left in hand here, so Ivan, for some reason, I don't know why, cracked his Lantern, so he's at the mercy of the top decks now. He just has to blindly use that Codex Shredder and the Pixis. So you can see here the Pixis that exiles the card face down. We don't know what it is. Hard cast the Flamewake Phoenix, so Rocky's going for the throat. 6, 8, 10 damage coming here, so top deck or nothing next turn. Well, that's not going to work because he's just going to get the Flamewake back next turn from the hollow one. I mean, there wasn't an ideal target there. So he needs a top deck right now. He's not going to get it. And so Ivan is going to... Oh, sorry, Rocky is going to take Modern 2-1. Eight damage about to come through. And he's on a sweep here as we get into Legacy. Finally, I've got the names right. Major upset here in terms of early season form. I mean, both these players were top 3 heading into this, but it's been all Rocky Mendes in this one. So far, he's taken the maximum 8 points. Ivan is sitting on 1, so as it stands, these two both sit on equal number of points for the league. Their totals will go to 34 after 4 rounds, which is a pretty impressive total. And you can see this lands deck going to work now on the mana base of Ivan. Caracas will do absolutely nothing in this matchup. As there's the first piece of the puzzle. So now he's just got to find a Dark Depths, and this one is over. Well, Wasteland is going to have something to say to that. That's a good pickup from Ivan. That's not going to work. Trying to Wasteland a Wasteland. But Live from the Loam again is going to get back Thespian Stage, so you can just play it straight back again. I think this is a total lockout. You can see Ivan's trying to get to 2 mana so that he can play that Phyrexian Revoker, and then he can shut off the combo. But there's a combo right there. So Rocky just has to do it right now. Copy Dark Depths, get Maritage, and this one's over. A 20-20 coming across, so we're going to game 2. You can see Leyline of the Void in hand there for Ivan. It's going to stop those loams from constantly dredging. Now, what's he going to name here? Wasteland? Yeah, that makes more... Dark Depths. It's not Dark Depths that you want to copy. No, don't name Dark Depths. No, don't name Wasteland either. He wants to name Thespian Stage. It's a Thespian Stage you pay 2 and copy, so Hedron Crawler. Okay, I'm completely lost. I don't know what he's done there. Oh, he says I have no idea of legacy. Okay. Yeah, what he needs to do there is name Thespian Stage, because Phyrexian Revoker is basically a pithy needle on legs. Yeah, so Rocky's just said against my deck you'd name Wasteland or Thespian Stage. Um, oh, of course, yeah, and he's just pointed out, Ivan's just, apologies to Ivan, he's just pointed out that Phyrexian Revoker can't actually name lands. I didn't know that. That's interesting. But yeah, definitely you wouldn't want to name Wasteland, I don't think, because he plays his own Wasteland, so he can Wasteland the combo. But if here's a second Revoker. And Rocky's just given him advice, told him what he should name, so now he's got a second one, so he's very quickly going to name that Molten Vortex. But yeah, he needs to find some sort of answer pretty quickly that's going to deal with the combo when it comes. He did have a Maze of Ith, but didn't last too long, unfortunately. No, sorry, the Croson Grip took down the ley line so he could get his... He's got a Maze of Ith, you see there, but... Chalice of the Void, all these cards not very good in this matchup. And then he goes... Then he counters his own spell with the Chalice. He is actually travelling alright here. He's... Maze of Ith is going to untap one of them. He's got 11 damage. If he can find a Wasteland next turn, he just wins. Okay, because the graphics are poor, so he's played like Chalice of the Void for 2. I couldn't quite see what that number is. It looks all blurry. Yeah, but Rocky doesn't care about that anyway because Life from the Loam works from the graveyard. So, yeah, Rocky's going to need to do something next turn or he's dead. Okay, I've mucked this up entirely. They've recorded the wrong results. I think they recorded... I do a lot of the editing off the results that I receive, so let me have a look at this, week 4. So he's played Sorcerer's Spyglass and named Wasteland this time. That's the one we should name the Thespian Stage. Right there, Thespian Stage. Because Rocky can go off next turn if he can find Dark Depths. Or he might even have it in hand. If he's got it in hand, then this game's over next turn. Oh no, my apologies. There's a Wasteland there. And Ivan says he's new to Legacy as well, so he's got to time this correctly. He's going to have to Wasteland with the trigger on the stack, I believe. Because otherwise, Rocky can actually do it in response to the Wasteland. Caracas is a good one here as well. Okay, there it is there. So he's got Caracas. I believe that Marit Lage is legendary. So he's got to do this correctly. No, he's just cost himself the match. He tapped the Wasteland and the Caracas. He had 2 outs and they're both gone. This one's over. No. So the final scores reflected here are not going to be correct. Ivan's actually picked up 2 points. But Marit Lage is going to do the damage and this one is over.